Hello everyone, and welcome to the Golf Tournament channel. My name is Phil Immordino, and I'm with the Golf Tournament Association of America. Hey, we have one simple mission, and that is to help you produce a successful golf tournament. Over the past 30 years, we've had the opportunity to work with thousands of golf tournament planners throughout the world. We've seen every type of event that you can imagine, from small fundraising events all the way up to the PGA Tour. We've learned what works and we've learned what doesn't work. So our job is to bring some of those ideas to you. We're going to cover everything you can imagine, from working with committees, filling your field with golfers, selling major sponsors, and everything in between. So if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe to our channel, because we'll be sharing new videos with you on a regular basis, and we're going to try to cover everything that you may need to hear. If by chance you have a subject that we don't cover, please feel free to let us know. Make a comment, send us an email. Let us know what you need to know about to help your golf tournament be successful. So today, we're going to cover the 18 basic steps on how to produce a successful golf tournament. We're not going to go in depth on each one. We'll do that in future videos. We want to encourage you to pull your committees together, take lots of notes, because we've got a lot of basic information that we're going to share with you today. So let's get started. Okay, step number 1, defining your purpose. What are you trying to achieve? What is your objective? What are your goals? There's many reasons to put on a golf tournament. None of them are right or wrong. But your job is to determine the specific objective you're trying to achieve, whether that's fundraising, whether that's a corporate outing and entertaining customers, or maybe it's just a serious competition. But make sure you define your purpose. Golf tournaments are like a small business, and we need a business plan to obtain our goals and reach our objectives. So create a business plan that has everything you need in it, from finances to responsibilities to a timeline, and let's get serious about taking your golf tournament to the next level. So step number 1, defining your purpose. Step number 2, developing your committee. You're going to be much more successful if you've got a well-oiled machine behind you. Too many people try to plan a golf tournament by themselves and they get frustrated and burned out. You need a volunteer committee to be most successful. So make sure that you identify some motivated people, get them recruited, get them excited about what you're trying to achieve, train them properly, and give them incentives to be successful. With a well-trained committee, your event will be bigger than you can remotely even imagine. I think a good-sized committee would be around 9 people. Make sure they're all productive. Make sure they commit in writing to what their goals are for your team. Step number 2 is working with a well-trained committee. Step number 3 is set specific goals. So many planners just say we want to raise a bunch of money, and they don't have a detailed plan on how to get there. So in this business plan that you're creating, make sure your goals are specific. How much money do you want to raise? What are your expenses going to be? How many golfers do you want to have? So identify some of the sponsors that you'd like to obtain. And what are your goals year after year after year? You obviously want to grow your event, but make sure you have a clear, specific goals in what you're trying to achieve, and put those in your business plan. Step number 3, create specific goals. Step number 4, have a budget, a detailed budget that you can stick with. You're going to have your income sources, which are typically going to be your sponsors, your golfers, your games and contests, your auctions, your donations, money from the appeal. You're going to have your expenses, which is the golf course, food and beverage, merchandise, gifts and prizes, trophies, and so forth. Every tournament's different, but you need to make sure you have a detailed budget that you can follow, because you don't want to go over your budget and spend more than you bring in. But have a detailed budget, exactly how your event's going to run. Step number 5, have a detailed timeline. Too many event planners try to rush their event and get it done in the last couple of months. You want to give yourself at least a good 6 months to get everything done. Remember, you're working with volunteers and they don't have full time to give you. So create a timeline, a list of action items, who's responsible for each one, and make sure that you stick to that timeline so you stay on track and you're not rushed at the last minute. Step number 5, develop a timeline. Step number 6, choose a date and a location. Very, very important. Also important not to try to conflict with other events that are going on throughout your community. Take a look at calendars of other groups that are involved or closely related to your industry, and double check who's doing what and when. This is why you want to get started early, so you can beat everyone to the punch and get a good date involved. Find a location that's at least within an hour's drive of most of your participants. But make sure you get it on the calendar quick so that you can get ahead of everybody else. Step number 7, finding the best golf course and getting the best deal. Do you ever notice that the number one question that golfers always ask when you're hosting a golf tournament is, where is it? Where are you playing? They want to know. A golf course is very important to us golfers. We want to play something that's nice, a quality golf course with great facilities and good food. So make sure that you find the best golf course at the best price. Now, how do you get a good deal on a golf course? There's a lot of ways to get a good deal, but you don't want to go cheap, because remember, you get what you pay for. So find a great golf course and sit down and negotiate. Find out exactly what time of the year you can get a better deal, or what time of the week, Monday through Thursday in the off season, you're going to get a better deal. And then you may want to consider buying the golf course out. Instead of paying a per player fee, consider buying the golf course for a half a day or even the full day. If you get enough golfers, you're going to end up ahead of the game. But find a great golf course and negotiate the best deal possible. Number 8 is choosing the right format. Do you realize there's over 100 formats or ways to produce a golf tournament? None of them are right or wrong, but the right format can help your participation, and the wrong format is going to hurt your participation. There's many options for you, so make sure you first understand the caliber of golfers. We've learned that scrambles obviously are better for the golfers that aren't very experienced, that don't play very often. But for those advanced golfers, you may want to consider a best ball. But there's everything from celebrity events, pro-ams, golf-a-thons, 9-hole events, 2-day events, you name it, they're out there. Make sure you choose the right format for your golfers so that you can maximize your participation. Number 9 is selling sponsors. Sponsors are your profit. But so many times we don't actually sell sponsorship. A whole sign doesn't qualify as a whole sponsorship. You're going to sell some whole signs, and those are great. But to maximize your income, you need to look seriously at what your companies in your community want. They all want more business. So we need to create a marketing tool through your golf tournament that they can maximize their income. They want a return on investment. If they give you $1, they want $4 in return. So make sure that you create packages that offer your sponsors more business. And then go to people that you work with. Go to connections of your committee, your banks and your attorneys and your accountants, people that already know you, have a relationship with you, have worked with you, and then when you offer them that return on investment, they're going to be excited to work with you and even give you more money. So take sponsorship serious and create sponsor packages that work. Number 10, gifts and prizes. Remember this, your event and your organization is going to be judged by the gifts and prizes that you give out. So you want good quality stuff, not the stuff that was donated by your local bank or grocery store. That stuff's not bad, but remember, golfers want cool stuff. The most important thing you're going to want to remember is the goodie bag. Golfers want a really great goodie bag. It's the first impression that you give, the first thing that you hand out at a golf tournament. So you want it to be quality. You want to have good stuff in there. And to get that good stuff, you want other companies to pay for it. So what I suggest is you find the item that you're looking for, whether that's a shirt, hat, ball, glove, get the price, connect with a sponsor, include that price in the sponsorship package, put the sponsor's logo on it, and they pay for that item. You can give out whatever you want. and have the greatest goodie bag possible. So give out cool stuff and your golfers will keep coming back year after year. Step number 11 is promotion. Do not try to be all things to all people. You want to target market. In other words, you want to find an industry or a group that you can go after specifically. If you're wondering where or who, then look at your committee. Who are they? What do they do for a living? What industries are they involved in? They understand those industries and you can go after them. You can get mailing lists, email lists, but make sure that you show that you have a quality event through your promotion. When you target market with emails, with social media, you're going to get more response. Make sure you have a good website, one that you can register golfers on and give sponsors additional exposure. But in any promotion, make sure that you target market your efforts. Don't try to be all things to all people, and you'll be more successful. Number 12, recruiting golfers. This is the most important thing you're going to do, is fill your field with golfers. But did you realize that 50% of the field is sold out for most golf tournaments in the country? That's it. So out of 144 possibilities, the average participants is 72. I believe that if you're going to go ahead and do this tournament, you might as well sell it out. And there's different ways to do that. One, you got to offer them a great golf course. Two, you got to offer them great food, a nice goodie bag. But the real reason they're going to participate is because their buddy asks them. So it's important that you have a good committee, as we mentioned, that's well connected. If you have 9 people on your committee and all they're doing is recruiting 4 foursomes, you'll be sold out year after year. But make sure that you put on a quality event so those golfers do want to come back. So fill your field with golfers with a committee of 9 getting 4 foursomes each. Hole number 13 is games and contests. You want games and contests. They're fun, they're exciting, it builds camaraderie, but most importantly, they raise money if you do them properly. There's many games. There's over 100 games and contests that you can implement. You don't want that many in your tournament, but you want the ones that's going to raise you some money. So go through our book on all the games and contests available and make sure that you pick a dozen that work well for your crowd and that make money, and you'll have a lot of fun with those. Number 14 is finalize your logistics. You can have the biggest event in town, but if you forget something, everyone's going to remember that. Bad news travels a lot faster than good news. So make sure you're organized. I like to have an operations manual with all the details, the schedule of the day, everyone's responsibilities, what's for dinner, what's for lunch, what auction items are available, what raffle items. And then what I encourage you to do is have your last committee meeting at the golf course. Bring your committee together, do a walkthrough of every step of your golf tournament. Make sure that nothing slips through the cracks, because you want to be as organized as possible so that golfers will remember all the good stuff and can't wait to come back next year. Number 15 is building memories. Your golf tournament is really a marketing tool for your organization. And if you do it right, they're not only going to remember you, but they're going to want to do business with you down the road, as well as donate more and come back year after year. So things you need to do. Remember, make sure you have a quality event, quality golf course, quality food, quality gift and prize package for the golfers. But also make sure it's organized, run smooth, and then give your golfers things that they're going to remember you by. Photos, videos. Post everything on social media. Make sure that they're featured in these photos and videos. Give them a plaque with your name on it and maybe their picture. But build memories. Make your golf tournament a marketing tool for the future, and they'll remember you and come back again and again. Step number 16, the wrap-up. I like to get the committee together after the golf tournament, a week or two, when everything's fresh on their minds, and do an evaluation. Wrap up the event by talking about what went well, what didn't go so well. How can you improve on next year? If you do these things right away, you can start improving and working on next year's event. Do a tournament evaluation that talks about every aspect, and we have that available to you if you need it, so let us know. Step number 17 is the follow-up. Follow up with everybody. The problem with a lot of tournaments we see is that they forget their golfers and their sponsors after the tournament, and they don't reconnect for 8 or 9 months. I think it's a big mistake. You first want to follow up right after the golf tournament. Send them an email, send them a newsletter, tell them how the tournament went. Remind them of all the good things, how much money was raised and where the money's going. Makes them feel a lot better about their participation. And then I would send out a weekly correspondence, at minimum monthly, to let them know what your organization is doing, what you're up to, what's the plans for next year's event, what are some of the things that your organization is doing to benefit the community. But stay in touch. Whenever you get a new prize donated for next year's event, let them know. Once you secure the golf course, let them know. But out of sight, out of mind. And if you follow up, stay in touch with your golfers, stay in touch with your sponsors. They're going to be with you next year. And finally, step 18. This is starting your event for next year. Again, we see so many tournament planners that just want to forget about their event for 8 months and then start all over again next year. I think it's important that you build on what you've already done. Start planning right now for next year's event. Remember, your golfers and your sponsors are thinking about you right now. You're fresh on their memories. So get them locked in. I would encourage you to work with your golfers and get them registered this year, right now, for next year's event. And give them a little incentive, maybe a sleeve of golf balls, and maybe have them put in a small deposit to hold their spot for next year. Start working with your sponsors now. They like to plan a year in advance. And here's the benefit, is that you're going to give these sponsors value all year round. So connect with your sponsors early. Start working on your event now for next year. Give yourself plenty of time so you're going to be super successful next year. So those are the 18 basic steps on how to get started with a golf tournament. We're going to go into detail on every single one of them in future videos. So we encourage you to subscribe and let us know what you're thinking. If you have any ideas, questions, comments, we want to serve you. We have a lot of additional tools that might help you. We have a how-to set up a golf tournament, how to produce a successful golf tournament, 120 pages of every detail, every single thing that you want to know, which we can make available to you. We have the e-version as well as the hardback copy. We also have a complete list of all the games and contests that are available, over 380 formats, scoring methods, games and contests, fundraising ideas in golf that'll help you with your golf tournament. That's also available ebook as well as a hard copy. We also have a thing called a golf-a-thon manual. We're going to talk in depth about a golf-a-thon, but it's 100 holes of golf, and it will help you raise a lot of money. We do a monthly newsletter through the GTAA, so subscribe and we'll get that out to you. And we're here to help you. Any ideas, any questions, any frustrations that you may have, let us know. We're here to serve you. We're the Golf Tournament Association. So this is Phil Mordino with the 18 steps on how to produce a successful golf tournament. We look forward to seeing you in future videos. Thanks for being here.